Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's have a look. We are playing West Ham United. Remember them? You should do. It was only Sunday that we played them. So we're going to have a look. We're going to see how they approached the EFL Cup last season, how this weekend's game affects it, what we think the starting 11 is going to be, and then a little bit about maybe who can get an opportunity here and what sort of opportunity this is for Solskjaer to win a trophy. Because personally, I think it's not a 25% chance of each of the cups, is it? When you sort of break them down, the Champions League and the FA Cup and the League Cup and all of that. It's quite straightforward, the League Cup, generally. There's not a lot of rounds. You get quite favourable-ish draws. We've had City a little bit on it lately, but I think this is an opportunity that shouldn't be sniffed at, to be honest. Jose used to love it. Early Jose at Chelsea loved the League Cup. Pep seemingly loved the League Cup lately. It does count as a trophy. I wouldn't necessarily call it major. The two major ones are Champions League and League. They're the only things that are really going to cement anything. But it's an opportunity for Ole to go, won a trophy. 2, hopefully 3 back-to-back top 4 finishes. Progressions each time in those, different records being broken, and a bit of silverware. That's not the peak of the mountain. That's base camp, innit? And I think that's what Solskjaer needs to do. He needs to continue this progression. And not all progression's linear. And you saw in the game on Sunday how quickly something can hinge. You can go from potentially drawing to winning a game or losing to winning. Like, it can literally be that quick that it hinges. So I think, on Vibe with 5 yesterday, talking about Arteta with Joel, where would you rather be? Would you rather be seeing the progression that you've made under Solskjaer, which is real? Or would you be like, well, we won a cup, but look at us, we're well shit, like Arsenal are getting at the moment with Arteta. Yeah, he's won a trophy, but more likely to relegate him than win the league. Right then, so West Ham, how did they approach the Carabao Cup? They managed to get to the last 16 last season, and they lost in that game against Everton 4-1, conceding a Calvert-Lewin hat-trick. They do tend to make a hell of a lot of changes, and they rotate quite a bit in the EFL Cup last season. Obviously, it's the first game this season, so we don't know what they're going to do this season. And in particular, in the back four, Declan Rice even started games at centre-half for them, showing you how much they was willing to rotate. With West Ham also being in Europe this season, I think it's even more of an incentive for them to rotate. And I think that the game that they've got at weekend is probably a more important game for them than this tie against United. I think Leeds at weekend for them is huge, and if they get 3 points there, that's massive for what they're trying to do. So a quick recap. Obviously, we've done 5 things, and we've done a review, and we talked about it on 5, and I'm sure you guys watched the game, so I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs. We ran out 2-1 winners in obviously what was a pretty dramatic ending. The last 5 minutes was just wild, weren't they? It was quite an evenly contested game. I would say that United, in the grand scheme of things, really deserved the win. And it was good against what's an awkward side in West Ham. Like we called the preview for West Ham, United will struggle. We had 61% possession, which is as expected, I guess. They proved difficult to play through. They stay narrow. They look to force around the outside. And for the large part, it's not the best quality. It was West Ham's first defeat in 15 games, though, which is good. 7 of those have come in the Premier League. Lingard obviously scored an absolute belter of a goal to actually seal the win for us. Interesting that he's gone back there and scored. What that's going to mean for his career going forward would be very interesting to see. Luke Shaw concedes a stoppage time penalty, but by blocking a cross with his arm, and immediately after, a couple of shouts from Ronaldo that got completely ignored. West Ham bring on Mark Noble for the captain, leader, legend moment, and De Gea saves it. It's a big win against a rough side to go and beat. So hopefully it's allowed us to put that disappointing game against Young Boys behind us. So what do we expect midweek then? So I think United, like West Ham, are likely to field a rotated side. The game's going to come down to who's got the stronger squad, and I think that means United. And in that department, we are pretty good on it. And I've got a team here that I think is capable of putting up a decent performance, to be honest. And it's minutes for a lot of people, a couple of starts. I think we're likely to see Donny van der Beek feature. Honestly, if we don't, I mean, but yeah, Martial, Donny van der Beek, possibly even Lingard. I would like to see Bruno and Ronaldo benched, and then it's a case of how much rotation. Could Alanga be considered an inclusion? I would like to see that, to be honest. He looked great on pre-season, but hasn't really been given any sort of opportunity since. I think it could be too early for the likes of Cavani and Diallo. But the team that I was going to go with for United then is as follows: De Gea in net, Dalot, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. Not too far off a first choice defence for us, really, or certainly last season. Matic and Donny as a double pivot. Greenwood, Jesse and Sancho as an attacking three behind Anthony Martial. That's what I'm thinking in terms of an 11. It's rotated, but it's also got some people that you've seen start Premier League games for us lately too. So I think it's more than good enough to get the job done. And it gives Pogba, Ronaldo, Varane and Bruno the night off. That might be too much. Maybe one of those will play. But there we go. Nice short and sweet one. I think this represents a real good opportunity for Ole to pick up some silverware. I hope he takes it serious. I don't think that means playing your absolute best 11 in the early rounds. But let's just get through the early rounds and try and get our way all the way to Wembley and hopefully pick up Ole's first bit of silverware as manager. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.